Climacophobia, the fear of climbing stairs. It's surprising there's a term for it, but if you have chronic hip pain, it's easy to relate to. But you shouldn't have to. At the Cedars-Sinai Orthopedic Center, our minimally invasive techniques allow many patients to go back home within 24 hours and get back to everyday tasks like walking up the stairs. More reasons to trust the #1 hospital in LA for joint replacements. Call 1-800-CEDARS-1 or visit our website.
Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, your #1 source for all things sports. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net. Use the hashtag EPNERA and join the revolution now. WHRADIO.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Wrestlingheads Radio. You got Skits, and I'm joined here with my co-hosts Tom and Oscar. What is going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, man? It's a crazy week of wrestling. Tomorrow night, PWG. I'm still watching NXT right now, and I just watched Lucha Underground last night. It's all nothing but wrestling all over the place.
Yeah, so much going on. And you know what? I always mention this, but I'm going to mention again. You guys are in California in your nice, warm, little environment with your palm trees. I'm over here. It's like 5 degrees over here. I'm freezing my butt off.
Well, today here on Wrestlingheads Radio, we have a special guest. A lot of folks know him from Lucha Underground. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome Mr. Jeff Cobb. What's going on, man? Give us one sec.
Oh,
I think we have him on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jeff, you there?
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know, bad reception in my place. But how you guys doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on. We definitely appreciate you coming on. We've been pretty hyped this whole week. So let's go ahead and get down to this interview. For those that do not know Jeff Cobb, once again, he wrestles in Lucha, excuse me, why am I, shit.
Lucha Underground.
No, but, yeah, like I was saying, but yeah, let's talk about, in 2004, I'm looking here, like, you used to, you actually, represented a country where you worked in.
Hey, Patrick, you okay? I guess I could start off if you like, man.
Yeah, something's wrong with Skits' mic. So, Oscar, why don't you start it off for us, man?
Okay, I'd like to start off with you, Jeff Cobb. I'm going to start off with you in case if no one hasn't known yet your background. How did it all start? When did you started becoming a professional wrestler?
I started pro wrestling in 2009, and I've always wanted to do it as a kid, but things kind of just fell into place in 2009, and yeah, I started training in Hawaii.
I see a guy I've seen wrestle a couple of times that's trained you, Oliver John. He's the one that trained you, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I started out in Hawaii. I moved up here to California in 2013. 2013, I moved here to train with Oliver John, or old school Oliver John, as they say.
Yeah.
And the best move I ever made.
Yeah, that guy is amazing. I've seen him a couple of times when he come down here to Los Angeles at the Wrestling Cares event. He won the tag team tournament, and he was a great talent in the ring. And I'm glad he actually trained someone like yourself. So yeah, he's a great worker in the ring. Okay, I'm gonna pass it back on Skits. I think his mic is fixed. Go ahead, Skits.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm back. Like I was saying, in 2004, you represented. I honestly don't know how to say the name of the country. Can you tell me the country?
Oh, Guam.
Yeah, you represented Guam. Talk to us about competing in the 2004 Olympics.
Well, I mean, I started amateur wrestling in high school, thinking that wrestling in high school was actually pro wrestling. And, to my surprise, it was not. I stuck with it because that was the only thing I was really good at sports-wise. I was like too short for basketball and all that. So I stuck with wrestling, and, it took me all the way to the Olympics, and I was fortunate enough to represent country of Guam in the Olympics, freestyle wrestling in 2004. And yeah, I mean, it was a great honor. It was so much fun, an experience that's hard to put into words, but it was a very eye-opening experience for me.
Was it hard to transition amateur wrestling to professional wrestling?
The physical side of it wasn't that bad. The showmanship side, I guess, was the tough part, the tough transition. In sports, you're taught not to show that you're hurt. Whereas with wrestling, you want to show emotions and display emotions, and that's a totally different thing for me. But over time, it eventually came. I mean, I'm nowhere near finished with my career, nor am I finished learning about different things. So, you always want to improve your game, and so that was the hard part, was just the showmanship, if you will.
Right. And in 2009 is the year when you actually started wrestling. Tell us how the environment in Hawaii, wrestling there is from wrestling out here in Southern California.
Well, I mean, Hawaii has a really rich tradition with wrestling. I mean, like in the 60s and 70s, I believe The Rock's grandmother was running a territory out this side. They had, I've seen old flyers, like the Gentleman Ed Francis, Ric Flair, Andre the Giant. They all came through Hawaii, and it was a booming territory back in the days. And then, so I figured, I'm living here now. Might as well start wrestling. There was a wrestle in Hawaii because, we're so far away from everything else. It's like if we wanted to go on a tour or something, we'd have to fly 5 hours just to get to the West Coast, or and then to go anywhere else is another couple hours by plane. It's tough to wrestle out in Hawaii, I think.
Definitely. I'm gonna pass the question on to Tom. Go ahead, bro.
First of all, Jeff, thanks for joining us. Definitely appreciate it. I wanted to get a little bit back into your amateur wrestling, and like I said, specifically the 2004 Olympics, which you were the flag bearer for Guam in the opening ceremony, which I couldn't imagine. What was your reaction when you were told that you were going to be shown in the opening ceremony, which is watched by God knows how many people? What was your reaction to that at first?
I was extremely humbled, and honored. Every 4 years there's only 212 people that can say that they got to carry the flag for their country in the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and all eyes are on the Olympics, So it is such a great honor. And I mean, granted, it was, I was from a small country, small island, if you will, and it was only like a snippet on TV, but I got phone calls and emails saying like, hey, we saw you, even though it was like a real quick scene, but it was still cool regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that. I'd probably be way too nervous. I would drop the flag, do something stupid on live TV because I'm just like that. But obviously, first starting out wrestling, professional wrestling, first starting in Hawaii, what made you want to transition and move to California? Was there something in particular? Was it just that, hey, California is the next closest state to Hawaii? What was your mindset and where you were choosing to kind of advance your professional wrestling career?
Well, I mean, in 2012, I kind of got to a point where I felt like, I've done everything I could in Hawaii. I mean, I was a heavyweight champ. I got to wrestle two names that came up to Hawaii. And Matt Cross and Christopher Daniels, and it's just being so far away from everything. I wanted to advance my career, but I couldn't do it in Hawaii. It was just too hard. It's too far. And it was funny because in 2012 we actually came up to All Pro Wrestling, or APW, from Beyond the Mat fame, and we did a show out there. And the head booker at the time was John LaRocca, and after that show, I had a really great match with Timothy Thatcher, who was the current Evolve heavyweight champion. And we had a great match, and from there, me and John LaRocca became pretty close friends. I went back to Hawaii. We just kept talking through text and Facebook and, phone calls and whatnot. And he says, hey, I got this guy, Oliver John. He's really good, and he could take your game to the next level, and that's what I was looking for. And a couple months went by, and I just decided to make the move. And like I said, this is the best move I ever made.
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting story and a very interesting transition. But like I said, I think, because obviously I'm here with Skits and Oscar, being from the California area, they always hype up what like SoCal wrestling has been for a while. Did you hear, were there any names in California that you knew of already, maybe like a Joey Ryan or Adam Thornstowe or somebody that kind of caught your eye and said, well, that's a guy I want to wrestle, that's why I'm going there?
No, to be honest, I only made the trip up to California twice in 2012, and both times I came up and worked in the company, All Pro Wrestling, and the only people I knew was Timothy Thatcher and Dylan, pretty much everybody that we met and rubbed shoulders with, and it was basically in All Pro Wrestling. So looking back, I can't really remember names too well of who it was at that time, but definitely Timothy Thatcher was the main one, because he was the person I had the match with, and that's what pretty much caught the eye of the booker. So
awesome. That's a very, very interesting story, and obviously I think the transition to California is going to lead to great things, because it already has so far.
Oh, yeah. But, definitely, being out here, everybody says California is an island on its own, but at the same time, there's so much talent here in California. So, moving from Hawaii, from one island to essentially another island, but there's more eyes in California than there are in Hawaii. So, it's a good choice that I made.
Very, very interesting and very enlightening to hear. But I don't want to hog up too many of the questions, so I'm going to pass it back to Oscar. Oscar, you're up next.
Yes. Now I want to get to Lucha Underground. I go to the shows a lot often out there. I think I went since the first episode was aired, and that's how I actually discovered you. I saw you in dark matches and a couple of shows, and then I seen you. I'm not gonna try not to spoil it. All right, just for the listeners out there have not, haven't been to a show or anything, or doesn't want to be spoiled like Tom. He does not like to read spoilers. But this character that you're going to be doing in Lucha Underground is very interesting. I just can't wait till everybody see your character in Lucha Underground. I want to ask you about your character. How did it all start? Did Chris and Joseph came out with the character? Because I went to a Q&A a couple of months ago, and he mentioned that the original idea for Mil Muertes was supposed to be Martin was supposed to be the original Mil Muertes, but then it went to we all know him as Messias from AAA. He's Mil Muertes. Did he came up with the character just for yourself? Was it meant for somebody else? Like, how did it all start with that character?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stories to this character, but from what I've heard, originally the character was supposed to be played by Hernandez.
Oh, okay.
But he ended up being on TV in season 1. So, I mean, I don't know the logistics behind it. I don't know if he wanted to be that character, if he didn't want to be that character or whatnot. But I mean, and I was fortunate enough that I guess he didn't want it. I don't know. I can't speak for him. But that character ended up coming to me, which was a blessing in disguise. Because, I mean, it's a different character than I've ever played, and I enjoy the challenge. Yeah,
definitely. Was it hard for you to do a character? Did you add a transition to this character that I don't want to spoil it to you, but I've been playing as a relative of somebody, and then really like, okay, I'm not Jeff Cobb, I'm this character. Was that tough going through that? Like, because you've probably never done something like this before. Was it very difficult?
No, I mean, it was difficult when they initially told me that I was going to play this character. But there's so many great people behind the scenes. There's, Krista Joseph. I work closely with Vampiro, and he has such a great mind for this character. And I mean, it's the bottom line is Krista Joseph and Vampiro helped me get this character and helped me basically put me in the right direction, saying, hey, this is what we want from this character, and we'll go from there. So definitely Vampiro and Krista Joseph definitely helped me out and to where this character is supposed to go.
Wow, okay, that sounds interesting, because I couldn't really figure Vampiro get involved in all you guys' characters like that, but yeah, it's interesting.
Vampiro has a great dark side. So
yeah,
I mean, if you've been to the tapings and you saw the character, and you definitely can tell it's a dark, twisted, demented character. So
yeah, I mean,
what's the backstory?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I followed his whole career. I mean, I can go back to W when he quote unquote let Sting on fire. So yeah, I could go way back then, But yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna go past it to Skits. Go ahead, Skits.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you a question about Lucha Underground before Oscar was gonna get into the whole character conversation. But after you came to here in SoCal, how did you start working for Lucha? Did they reach out to you, or was it you that reached out to them?
I did a AAA tryout actually in 2013, and Conan was there, and I did my tryout. was kind of bummed because originally we had like 3 matches, and then they had a final match, which was like a 3-on-3. And originally I wasn't selected to be in that final 3-on-3 match, so I was kind of disappointed by that. I'm thinking nothing was going to come out of that tryout because I didn't make the final 6 or what have you. But from everything I've heard, I guess Conan liked what he saw, and a couple of years later, this project came about, and I remember he mentioned that, Conan mentioned that there's this big AAA thing coming in America. It's going to be in English and Spanish, and it's going to be big, and just be prepared. And I didn't, at the time, again, like I said, I didn't really think anything of it because I wasn't in the quote unquote top 6, so I just kind of went by the wayside, and then a mutual friend of ours had my phone number, and one of the as actually Krista Joseph called me in 2014, or the end of 2014, and saying, hey, we want to bring you aboard on this project, and the rest is history.
All I have to say to other folks who are listening that watch Lucha Underground on a weekly basis, I just want to say Jeff Cobb, he's going to play a big role in Lucha Underground, and folks keep a big eye out on Jeff because he's about to kill the game. That's all I have to say.
Well, you could also say it's going to be. You could also say it's going to be. I've heard someone say this, and it's pretty funny, but it's going to be a monstrous role, if you will. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was gonna say, your character, you actually look like a horror icon from the '80s. So I'm not gonna reveal the name because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I hope you get that. But everybody gotta check this character out in the next about a month when you make your debut. So yeah, just get ready, everybody.
Real quick, I just want to bring in one of our other co-hosts, Jared. I believe you're online.
Yep.
Jared,
all right.
If you want to go ahead and ask Jeff a question, go for it, bro.
All right. Well, I wanted to ask about SoCal Wrestling, more specifically since it's coming up tomorrow. PWG, would you have any desire to work there?
I would love to work for PWG. I mean, it's Coast version of Ring of Honor, and PWG has some great history, great wrestlers, great shows. I mean, crap, like PWG sells out in 10 minutes. So I mean, it's a hot product, and I definitely would love to work there eventually.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this: me and Oscar and Jared, we go to PWG on the regular, so we would definitely love to see you there. I'm pretty sure you would have some crazy ass matches there too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would. There's a lot of guys that I'm still a fan, so I do tend to watch, like Ring of Honor and PWG, and there's a bunch of guys there that I would love to just tear the roof off that place with.
If you had to name a few, can you name some with us?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I would definitely love to work Chris Hero. I was supposed to wrestle him in APW in 2014, and then it just kind of, I missed it because I had to do that WWE tryout thing, and I was kind of bummed. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciated the opportunity, but at the same time, I kind of missed out on a match with Chris Hero, which kind of made me sad too. But yeah, it all worked out. So I mean, definitely Chris Hero. I would love to work Ricochet eventually. I got to work him briefly as the Prince, but I want to work Ricochet as Ricochet.
Speaking of Ricochet, congratulations to Ricochet on winning IWGP Junior Tag titles last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to Ricochet, man. He had a great match at the last Wrestle Kingdom, and I read the spoilers as well, or not the spoilers, I guess the taping results, and that's major props to him.
Yeah, definitely do. Let me move on to the next question. Who's up? I think Tom. Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, obviously earlier you talked about one of the difficult things transitioning into professional wrestling was the showmanship. So what are some things that you're kind of doing to get yourself comfortable with that? Because I know obviously you have the technical skills and you're picking up that on that very quickly and you can maneuver around that pretty easily. But what are some things you're doing to kind of get yourself more comfortable and, working in front of a crowd and being a character instead of possibly being, just a plain old amateur wrestler?
Well, when I first moved here, Oliver John had me do he always told me cut promos anywhere. When you're driving the car, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're washing your face, look in a mirror and watch your facial expressions change between being happy, being sad, whatnot. And he also mentioned record yourself doing a promo, and then have someone that's not in wrestling watch it and ask him or her, say, hey, what did you get from this promo? Could you tell I was angry? Could you tell I was happy? I was sad? Blah, blah, whatever. Those kind of things definitely help me out in the long run. And then, working with and being at Lucha Underground, picking the brains of not just for my character that I play at Lucha Underground, but also as myself. Like in the dark matches, I could, have feedback from great minds like. Chavo Guerrero's there. He can give me feedback. Conan was there. Vampiro's there. Matt Stryker's there. They all see the dark matches that I had as Jeff Cobb, and picking certain things apart and asking them what I could do to, should I have more facial expression? Should I have more of this? Should I have more of that? And just having that helps me as my normal character, and then learning other subtle things with this other character, because it's a little spoiler, but I do wear a mask, so it's tougher because you can't see the facial expressions with the mask on. You have to have body language and different movements and little mannerisms that could display an emotion that you're feeling or emotion you're trying to display. So just working with other people helps out a lot.
Without a doubt, and you're getting, I think, some great help, some great toolage. Those names you mentioned, if you get a chance to work with those guys, I think it's a huge honor, and you're definitely going to be learning something. And I couldn't imagine it. Like I said, I'm a nervous person, so I'd probably mess up everything. But it seems like you're doing good. Obviously, being an amateur professional wrestler, when you get in there in the ring, it's a lot more comfortable. We've seen it before with guys like Kurt Angle and Chad Gable. They're kind of getting used to working that physical style pretty easily. Are there some things that in the ring you still say to yourself, man, I need to work on that, or I could get better at that? What are some things that you're kind of critiquing yourself on?
Honestly, I tend to critique myself hard every time because you're never gonna get this. The pro wrestling game is always evolving, always changing, so you always want to improve. And it's the wrestlers that are stagnant and happy with where they're at. Like, I don't want to, after a match, I don't want to come back and have 40 people go, oh, that was great. I'm more interested in the people that tell me, hey, you should work on this, or why did you do this, kind of like. I always, I don't want people patting me on the back. There's always going to be guys in the back there, oh, that was great. Yeah, that's cool, but I don't care about that's great. I want to know I need to fix and what I need to work on. Because, you know, there's never that perfect match. There's always stuff you can improve on.
Basically, you want people to keep it 100 with you, and not tell lies.
Yeah, because if you blow smoke up my ass, I'm not going to improve. I'm going to be at this level at the same time. Like, I don't want to be at this level. I want to be higher, and I can't get higher. I can't improve my game if I don't know if everybody tells me, oh, it's great.
Right. Jeff, I actually wanted to talk about. Can you talk to us about your tryout that you have with the WWE? And can you tell us how was it like? Training at the WWE Performance Center.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was great. It was a great experience. Ever since I was a kid, my goal was to work for the WWE. And there's not many professional wrestlers that don't want to work for the WWE. And I had the honor and privilege of, getting flown down to Orlando on the WWE's dime and getting a tryout with them. And it's such an amazing experience, man. I mean, it's like their facility there is top notch. It's like the people that are signed there, if you don't improve, like they have all the tools there to make you better and make you a superstar. And if you don't improve, then I don't know, there's something wrong. But it is such a great experience, man. Like I had so much fun. I mean, it was some of the hardest stuff I've ever done in my life, and we didn't do anything complex. It was all basic stuff, but it just shows like how bad do you want it. It's like who cares if you can do a 450? Who cares if you can do flips off the top rope? If you ain't got the basics down,
Yeah. I have a question. I saw a picture on Google. I know it showed your name and you were part of an interview. Is that interview on the WWE Network? Like, was it part of that Breaking Ground show?
It wasn't on the Breaking Ground show. It was they filmed. They were filming the tryout while I was there. It was on the WWE website for a while. I mean, I think it's still there if you search for it. I think it was like a WWE tryout 3 days in hell or something along those lines. And they pulled about 10 of us to the side and had us interviewed. And I was fortunate enough to be one of them. And I think they signed 9 out of the 10 guys that they interviewed, me being the lone one that they didn't.
Mm.
So, but I'm not bitter about it. I'm just stating the facts, I guess.
It's all good. I'm pretty sure you'll get that second chance. But let's move on to the next question. I'm gonna give it to Oscar because I'm pretty sure Oscar has another question.
Yes. I'm sorry. Sorry, I dropped my phone. Yes, my next question I'd like to ask you, going back to, actually, you know what? I'm going to switch it up a bit. I'm going to ask you that, you started working in 2009, you said, and you accomplished a little bit of things. What is the next thing you'd like to accomplish? Now you're a part of Lucha Underground. Is there something that you'd like to accomplish now that you haven't accomplished? Like you just said earlier, PWG. Is it like Japan in your thoughts, or Mexico? Like you said, you had a AAA tryout. Is that something that's your next accomplishment?
I mean, I have a lot of side goals that I want to hit in my career. Obviously, I definitely want to go to Japan. I like that style a little bit more. I'm more of a fan of the hard-hitting realism side, I guess, or the realistic side of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Japan's definitely on my bucket list. Mexico's there as well. I also have this goal of wrestling in every state. So that's definitely another one of my plans on my agenda. So, I mean, if you're a booker out there, definitely if you can help me cross off some of those states from my list, then that'd be wonderful.
I was going to say that if you end up in Japan, I'm sure everybody here, me, Skits, and Tom, and Jared, we would love to see you wrestle against Tomohiro Ishii in New Japan. That would be a hard-hitting match between you two.
It's funny that you just said that, because that's definitely the match that probably a number one match I would probably want to see Jeff go against, because Ishii is, like, ridiculous. And I've seen your matches, too, and you're definitely hard-hitting, too, and it would be definitely, like, a great match for sure.
Him and Shibata would be great, too.
I'm down for anything, really. I mean, maybe I'll go after the never title.
Yeah, you know the stuff there. But Japan, it'd be great to see you there. And then we should have Ricochet to see how you get your spot out there. So, he just like you said earlier, or was it Skis that mentioned he did won the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion. So, congratulations to him. Like everybody said, everybody that's listening, just keep watching Lucha Underground. You guys will be very amazed at his character. I've seen it in person. I'll tell you this right now. You're going to be amazed, and he'll be part of a big role, like what Skid said earlier. He'll be a part of a big role, and I'm happy to see you working with couple of names out there that I've seen you with, and I'm not gonna give a little bit too spoiler, but when you had that match with Muertes, where you guys were up top of the Dario Cuero's office, that slam you guys did, it was freaking, that was like amazing. I felt the floor shake. So yeah, that was an awesome time. I'm gonna go pass it up. I don't know who's next, but go ahead.
I'll take the reins from here. Obviously, you've been influenced in wrestling for so long. Who's somebody that's had the biggest influence on your career? Who's somebody that from the moment you saw them, you're like, I got to do this. I don't want anything else but to do professional wrestling from here on out. So who was your influence?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I think everybody had the Hulk Hogan thing going on, the saying the prayers, eating the vitamins and all that. So, I mean, as a kid growing up, like, it definitely Hulk Hogan drew me in. And then Ultimate Warrior came along, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's awesome. So Hogan and Warrior definitely brought me in. Well, Hogan first and foremost, and then as I got older, I tried to look for better workers, I guess, or better in-ring performers, and that's when I started getting more drawn into guys like Kurt Hennig. I really enjoyed Mr. Perfect, Jake Roberts, Barry Windham's wonderful, very very underappreciated, I guess. But yeah, then as I got older, it's more guys that can go in the ring.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more with Barry Windham being underappreciated. I think that's the first time I've really heard someone say that in quite a while. So definitely good. But for a second, because we've been talking so much about your amateur wrestling career and your professional wrestling career, I want to kind of switch gears for a little bit. Tell the listeners, because all we've been talking about is just one point of your life. Tell the listeners something that they might not know about you, something, maybe it's a hobby you do in your free time, or maybe you have a weird talent that nobody knows about. What's something interesting that the listeners who may not know about you, what's interesting about you?
Hey, you gotta get that question out of the bag, huh? Man, that's messing me up. I don't know. Probably. I guess my favorite music era. I guess would not many people know this about me, or when you look at me, and you probably wouldn't put two and two together. But my favorite musical era is like Motown.
Word.
Really?
And you wouldn't like my favorite band of all time is the Temptations. Like just every one of them.
I would have never guessed that in a million years, to be honest.
Every one of them could sing. Like every one of them pretty much had a song where they were the lead singer, and not many people can do that nowadays. Like, I mean, like if you put like the Temptations up against, I don't even know any boy bands now, One Direction, I guess. You put them up, like they would blow them out the water.
That One Direction.
I don't know. That's the only one I can think of.
That is not.
How about this, Jeff? Even though they're not a group no more, compare them with like Boyz II Men or something.
Oh, you know what? I like Boyz. Like I like the groups that could sing, that could actually sing, like that they didn't need, like they didn't need to be, I guess, I don't know, edited or with the help of electronic advice. Like if they just went to the street corner and just sang, like those are my, like that's, I appreciate that a lot more than the whole, like the auto tune, all that junk.
Right.
Vocal harmonizing is what I'm basically trying to say. Like those, like I enjoy where you could take all these voices and put it together and make it into this beautiful sounding thing.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you learn something every day. Just like Jeff said, you never would have thought that he was into Motown. I know my mom's definitely, listens to like Michael Jackson and all that other good stuff. So, I want to also talk about on March 26th. I'm actually gonna be there. Me and Oscar most likely. You're gonna be performing at PCW. Talk to us about making your debut at PCW, and have you found out who you're gonna face? Because you got Timothy Thatcher's going to be there, Kenny King, Scorpio Sky, Willie Mack, names like that. Those are some top names. I'm pretty sure if they pair you up with any of those dudes, and let me not forget MVP is going to be there too. It's some top tier dudes right there. Have you found out who you're going to wrestle, and if not, who would you want to wrestle out of those names that I just named?
I'm very excited to be working with this company. I was originally supposed to be on the debut show, or the first show. Unfortunately, like Lucha Underground kept us a little late, so I had to pull out. And I hate backing out of bookings, but I understand they got to do what they got to do. I don't want anybody worrying about if I'm going to be there on time or whatnot. So I mean, and then we ended up coming from the Lucha Underground tapings to the show. And we got there at intermission, and they do it right. They have good production, good quality matches, good wrestlers, good quality wrestlers, and the crowd was hot. It was good sized crowd for the debut show. The matches were wonderful. So and it just made me that much more, I guess, envious of the guys that got to work that night, because it was such a good show, top to bottom. But I don't know, like, I haven't been told who I'm gonna wrestle on the 26th. I would definitely, I would love to wrestle guys that I've never wrestled before, just to see if I could have a good match, because I always like to challenge myself. But I've never got to wrestle Scorpio Sky. I had never got to work MVP yet, but you know what? I mean, the talent that PCW brings in is top notch. So I feel like I'll have a great match with anybody on that card.
And the cool thing about it is PCW is a new promotion out here in the West Coast. You know, right now with AWS on a break and IWO on a break, you know, this is pretty big for the West Coast for another promotion to, you know, basically be around for the West Coast fans.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, you know, they do it right. You know, I always see them promoting it. They're always pimping their shows. You know, we're at the beginning of February right now, or I guess mid-February, and they're promoting the show, which is in a month and a half away. You know, and you know, every time I log on to Facebook or something, I see the flyer and I see, you know, PCW announced that they signed this talent to appear, and you know, like I said, they do it right. You know, they're always in the eyes of people on Facebook and whatnot. So, you know, they're, like I said, they're doing it right. And, you know, more power to them, and I'm just excited to be wrestling for them in March.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually at the Davies show after from a Lucha tapings, and I have to say it's very interesting. It has potential to be one of the top SoCal promotions in SoCal. So if you keep doing what they're doing, I think it's going to be a place where a lot of, you know, wrestlers like yourself will love to work for it, you know, in SoCal. So, and right now it seems like exciting. They're bringing Kenny King the next show. They're bringing yourself. Willie Mack is coming in as well. I mean, it's very exciting. And that's where actually I met you there on at that PCW show. So, yeah, it looks fun. I like the venue, too. That thing is actually kind of big, too. So you could probably fit like 4,000 people, if I have to guess. So,
yeah, I don't even know what it was. Like, it was a big space. I don't even know what it was. Like, is that a gym or something? I don't even know.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, because I lived like 2 miles away from that venue, and I was like, okay, let me check this PCW thing out. I'm hearing so much hype about it, and I was like, holy crap, this place is huge, you know? I'm like, damn, I wish PWG would be over here, but damn, you know? This is like their venue now. It's like, this has got to be their spot. So PWG got their spot. This is like their spot. This has to be. So I'm just glad it's just 2 miles where I live. I'm not taking the freeway to get to a wrestling show. So it's awesome. So, yeah.
Definitely. Guys, you guys have a last question before we let Jeff go?
All right, I have one. Maybe you can. This is my last one. Jeff, if you give me 5 wrestlers, for anybody listening, any 5 wrestlers that you like to work for, and anybody, could be any from the WWE, TNA, Lucha that you haven't get a chance with, anybody, just give me those 5 right now. Doesn't have to be by order, but 5 of them.
No, is this current, or could it be like past, present kind of deal? Or?
You could, whatever, it's past, present. Yeah, past or present.
As we're let's see. That's a good question, man. I've always wanted to work Kurt Angle.
Oh, see, that's a name I was thinking, Kurt Angle. That I don't know if this whole TNA thing, Angle that he's leaving or he's going to retire is true, but if you get able to work with him, that would be awesome.
I know. I would definitely love to wrestle him, man. He's so good, and yeah, definitely Kurt Angle. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but like I would love to work AJ Styles. He's so good too. He's so crisp. But you never know if you know, I don't know. But yeah, definitely AJ Styles is another one I'd love to work. Bret Hart in his when
yeah.
Not now. I mean, he's in a fight right now. But
yeah,
Kurt Angle in his prime, definitely, I would have loved to work him. Probably the Undertaker. I would definitely love to be in the ring and hear that gong go off for his entrance. Oh my God, I'd probably get goosebumps being in the ring. I'd probably pass out standing in the ring.
Yeah, I like how every time he comes out, or whoever's the opponent, I have to see when the camera angles show their face, like their reaction. I love when they do that. Like I remember when he came out when DX was playing with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they had to like this look, like this serious look that I thought it was funny, but yeah, it was freaking awesome. But yeah, you got one more.
Yeah, definitely the Undertaker, and probably Shawn Michaels. I want to see how good he is. Actually, that last one would probably be between Shawn Michaels and Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson, fucking.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. But anyways, Jeff, that was my last question. Before I get pass on, I just want to say I hope I see you soon at a future Lucha Underground taping. I hear all those rumors that's going to happen in March, but I don't know if those are true or not. But I'm going to wait till Lucha announce it. But if anything, if it's not until March, I'll see you at TCW for sure.
Oh, sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Jared, did you have a last question, or Tom?
Mine was kind of similar. What would be if you could pick 4 people to team with for a Survivor Series team? Who would it be?
Oh,
a Survivor Series team. Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, I definitely want to be on it. So is this okay? So I got to get 4 other guys to make it a 5-on-5. Okay, if we're gonna do that, then I guess the team of myself, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and probably Randy Orton, because Randy Orton never loses at Survivor Series when he's on the team, so I'd probably have him so we make sure we win.
That was a nice pick right there.
And my last question, Jeff, tell the fans where they can find you on social media, Facebook, anything like that. Pro Wrestling Tees, stuff out there, man. The floor is yours.
Unfortunately, I'm not on Pro Wrestling Tees yet. I would love to be. So if you guys know anybody that can help this little islander out, yeah, send them my way. But other than that, you can find me on Twitter. It's Mr. Athletic J Cobb. That's my Twitter handle. I'm still learning how to do the Twitter thing, so I'm still pretty new at that. I'm also on Instagram, Jeff Cobb, I believe you search for, and you'll find me. It's all usually wrestling stuff, wrestling related. And I'm also on Facebook. I have 2. I have a personal one and a fan page one. Feel free to add me on either or. They're both the same. I always promote the same stuff on both anyways. So yeah, that's where you can find me on the internet.
Definitely, Jeff. We want to thank you once again for coming on here. Appreciate your time, man. And I'm pretty sure we'll catch up with you, and we'll see you soon.
Definitely, man. Thank you guys for having me on, and thank you for putting up with me. I'm just getting over a cold, so my voice, my singing voice isn't there anymore. So, but yeah, thank you guys very much for this platform for me to speak on.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night, Jeff.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Lucha Underground talent Cobb. Pretty good interview, gentlemen. Definitely learned some new things about Jeff Cobb. And I'm definitely looking forward to, what Lucha Underground's got, planned for him. I'm pretty sure me and Oscar already know what's going down, but, guys like Tom and Jared are sitting back and just waiting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? I was going to say that I hope when he comes on Lucha Underground and when everybody witnesses Impact, what he does in that company, I hope he gets more bookings everywhere, kind of like Pentagon and Phoenix. He's getting bookings everywhere now. I hope he gets that same opportunity. Doesn't matter if he's playing that character or Jeff Cobb. I hope he gets more opportunities where he can work at and hope he has a successful career.
Definitely. Jared, you would say something, dude?
I agree. I really hope that he goes places. He's an awesome wrestler, really cool dude.
Tom?
I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens with Cobb and Lucha Underground. Like I said, obviously I don't know the spoilers, and I don't want to know them because, like I said earlier, Lucha Underground's the only show that I don't want to know anything about what happens. Everything else I couldn't give a shit about. I will read spoilers. If it comes up, I don't care. But Lucha Underground, I like it to remain a secret. That's one of the things I like about Lucha Underground the most is kind of the secrecy of it. But like I said, I've seen a couple of Jeff Cobb's matches, so I'm excited to see what he can do in Lucha Underground and if he pops up anywhere else.
Yeah, definitely. Just like Oscar said, like after what's going to happen, he's going to deserve some better bookings. Let's take a real quick break, and we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the top 10 independent matches that we have listed. Also, we'll talk about some Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Bowie. We'll talk about that show. We'll talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Beginning, that show that happened last night, NXT, Ring of Honor, and much more. We'll be right back after these messages here on the Elite Podcast Network.
Why, hello, this is Man, the Myth, the Legend, Jack Evans from the Heavens, and you are listening to none other than Wrestlingheads Radio. You're welcome.
And we're back. That was a pretty quick commercial that we had. Let's go ahead and jump on Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. PWG tomorrow. Yeah. I'm super excited. I know Jared's excited. I know Oscar's excited. And I know Tom is excited, even though he is not going to be there. But I have another person there I'm going to put online who's going to be there. My boy David. He is on. David, are you there, bro?
Hear me? What's going on,
David?
Brother? Yo,
you know what's funny?
What's going on?
You just said all these names, but Tom's the only one not coming. So it just seems like,
man. I feel left out. I'll go sit in timeout by myself and, stick to my East Coast wrestling. And,
Hey, Tom will be there in spirit in the front row with your boy Skits.
Definitely.
I like just imagine I'm like angry fan. I'm just chanting for Super Dragon the whole time.
And then I kick you in the teeth.
You know what's funny? I want to say me and Matt almost got in a fight with Angry Fan at Bola. Fuck him. So, fuck Angry Fan. But how about let's talk about the show. Let's give out some predictions and whatnot. Let's start up with the first match. Dalton Castle making his PWG debut against Chuck Taylor.
This is going to be the sleeper match of the night. I'm saying right now.
Maybe. Yeah, and I wonder, all those photos you see of those Bowie photos and him got the little David Bowie makeup, I wonder if he's really going to come out with that.
I hope so, but I have a second question. Will the boys be with him?
From what I heard, from like what I heard, he probably won't have the actual boys with him, but he might find some fans to be his boys. Because our buddy Matthew Grant was a boy, I believe, at Smash Wrestling.
I remember that. Yeah, I think it was Paragon
and Destiny too. So he's probably going to ask a fan who wants to be a boy tonight. So most likely,
I really could volunteer, but I don't know if they want a boy with a gut.
Yeah, I mean, it would look a little awkward, but I mean, I'm looking forward to this match. I mean, for how long have we talked about Dalton Castle going to PWG? I mean, his character just could resonate with any promotion he goes to, and not just that, but I think people really overlook how just talented Dalton Castle is in the ring. Obviously, he's very entertaining, very charismatic, but he is one of the more solid wrestlers in the ring to where, he can work technical, but he'll do a move out of nowhere. He'll do like that that kind of like spinning Hurricane Rana from where he like twists around from the bottom rope, and then Hurricane Rana's his opponent.
Well, like a reverse 619 fake out?
Yeah, basically. It's like a 619 fake out. So like I said, I'm very intrigued by this match. Like I said, Chuck Taylor, I think, is the same exact way. Obviously, people know the character of Chuck Taylor, and he's entertaining and he's funny. But Chuck Taylor can go in the ring with anybody, and I think people overlook that. So I think, obviously, it's going to be a very funny comedy-based match, but I think if they're allowed to, they can get down and put on a good match as well. So looking forward to it.
Oh, definitely, dude. I'm super excited. I don't care if it's PWG, Ring of Honor, whatever. I'm just excited to see Dalton Castle for the first time. So him and Chuck Taylor are definitely going to be very entertaining. Wouldn't be surprised if they open up the show. Let's go down our predictions. Who do you guys got taking this one? I'm going to start off with Oscar. Who do you have winning this match?
Most of the times, no one makes a debut, they'll lose. But I am going to go with Chuck Taylor. I feel like he's having a little role in PWG as of late, and they might continue with it. So I think Chuck Taylor will get the victory, and what's his name? Dalton Castle will get everybody's going to get a chance. Please come back, and yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. And the Party Peacock will be going back to PWG whenever they have when he's available. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Chuck Taylor on this one.
David.
I'll probably go with Dalton, man. I think that's what the fans want. They're very excited to see him. I kind of knew something was going to happen when the whole PWG, ROH negotiations were going down. So I'm like, it's just a matter of time since Dalton comes in. And I have a feeling like he's going to take the win on this one. I know that usually Oscar's right. They kind of lose the new guys, but fans are really going to want him to just win big. Yeah.
Tom?
I'm going to go with Chuck Taylor. I think as more of a PWG regular, it's I don't want to say it's favoritism, but because Chuck Taylor is most likely going to be at every PWG show as opposed to Dalton Castle, which depends on his Ring of Honor schedule, so that can kind of conflict with things. I'm going to go with Chuck Taylor. I think, give the veterans the win over here, but Dalton Castle is going to be impressive, and like I said, it's because we don't know how much Dalton Castle is going to be in PWG is the reason I'm picking Chuck Taylor. And like Oscar said, I didn't expect Chuck Taylor to beat Mark Andrews at Bola. I didn't expect that, or it wasn't Bola. What was it?
Yeah, it was Bola.
Was it Bola?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it was right. Yeah, so I didn't expect him to beat Mark Andrews, so just like kind of Oscar said, he's been on a little bit of a roll.
Oh,
I
said that was All-Star Weekend.
I said this a while back, like I'm pretty sure over a year ago when we were talking about the best friends splitting up. I always thought that PWG should have made Chuck Taylor go heel and pushed him to the top of the company. I'm not saying
he kind of is heel. Because like the whole hating Christmas, elbow driving the hat thing.
but then the fans cheer for that. That's the thing about Chuck Taylor is that Chuck Taylor can play such a great heel, but because he's so entertaining, the PWG fans are going to applaud everything he does.
Yeah, I don't think Chuck's a heel. So who you got, Jared?
I'm going to go with my dad's favorite wrestler, Chuck Taylor. Actually, it's true. He is my dad's favorite. Which he did the show, so what's up?
It's good. Who do you got winning this one?
I'm going to have to go with Chuck Taylor, too. As much as I would like to see Dalton Castle win, it's just, how it is usually when the new guys come in, they always basically lose. And, they get the chant, please come back. Just like Chris Dickerson, for example. He should have beat Brian Cage, but he lost, so.
That was a great match, though.
It definitely was. Definitely a great opener, too. Just a couple botches. But yeah, I definitely would say Chuck T for sure.
Oh, I have a question. Which will come out first?
What?
The release date for All-Star Weekend, the preview for Lemmy, or the card for the next All-Star Weekend?
Probably the All-Star Weekend card for sure. You know how PWG is. They're always lacking it with the videos. I don't so. But let's move on to the next matchup. What do we have? Should I have to pull up the card? I just left the card for a second.
Of Evil Uno.
Yeah, Evil Uno versus Mike Bailey. That's gonna be
I'm excited about this.
I've seen Uno in so long, dude. Ever since 2012.
I've never.
Yeah, I think actually I think 2013 was early 2013 was the last time we saw the Super Smash Brothers in PWG, but obviously one of the most I think requested names back into PWG. I mean, I can remember when they left PWG, over 3 years ago, and people were just begging. They're like, bring the Super Smash Brothers back, bring them back. And obviously because of visa issues, they couldn't. Now Uno has that resolved, but we're still waiting for Stupefied to get those resolved as well. But very excited to see Uno back in the States, especially with his new Evil Uno character. Very excited to kind of see what twist is put on that. And I've heard and I've seen him and Mike Bailey have had good matches at C4 Wrestling up in Canada, so I expect this to be a very good match. And, Uno's going to get such a great, good response coming back to PWG. But hopefully soon Super Smash Brothers make their way back to PWG as a full-time tag team.
Definitely, because I believe the tag team division is shit right now. There's really not no tags besides the Bucks, and they put teams together or whatnot. But who you guys got taking this? Starting off with Oscar.
I'm gonna go with Evil Uno. For some reason, I think you're gonna give it to him. Maybe he's gonna be turned into returning bases. Something's telling me they're gonna have a big plan for him now that he's back at PWG. And with his evil thing, I just think they're gonna. I don't know why. I just had in my head that he'd be on a platform for him, and this is a good way to start it by beating Mike Bailey.
So you're going with Evil Uno, you said? Oscar?
Yes, Evil Uno.
David?
It's a little tough call, but let's say Speedball. He's on a roll, man. He's doing really good. Probably do like Oscar says, welcome back, please come back kind of thing, since he's been away a little long. But it should be pretty good. I know that it should be pretty good. And I never checked out those, C4 matches, but I heard they were pretty good. And I guess I would give it to Speedball, man. He's been doing great so far. So.
Go ahead, Tom.
I'm going to go with Mike Bailey on this one. I think Mike Bailey kind of needs to get back some momentum. I think after Bola, he's still one of the most popular guys in PWG, but I feel like after Bola, after being one of the 3 finalists, you would think he'd have a lot of momentum coming back there. So I think getting a victory over Evil Uno is going to be kind of the first step for Mike Bailey in 2016, really to kind of get back to where he was going toward the end of 2015. So I'm going to go with Mike Bailey on this one.
Jarrett?
Yeah, I'm going to go Speedball too. Pretty much for that exact reason. Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to go with Speedball Mike Bailey, too. Mike Bailey's killing the game. The last PWG show, he had a match with Adam Cole. He didn't go over, but it was such a great match. Speedball definitely needs this match more than Player Uno, a.k.a. Evil Uno. Next match, you got Trent making his return to PWG, as he faces Chris Hero. This should be an interesting one.
This is going to be a good one. I get the feeling that this is going to be a really underrated match.
You know, it's crazy that you mentioned underrated because a lot of the matches that Chris Hero has had lately are all underrated matches.
Oh, yeah.
Me, myself, really not
amazing.
Nuts. Definitely one of the best matches last year.
Speedball and Zack Sabre Jr., those unbelievable matches right there.
You know, me, myself, I'm not really a big Trent fan, but I want to see, you know, how him and Chris Hero are going to, you know, square off. But let's go down the line and let's see who you guys got winning this match. Go with Oscar first.
I'm going to go with Chris Hero. Basically, I feel like, you know, he hasn't really got that much victories, but I think this is the perfect time to get if you want to start a roll with him, this is the perfect spot. Even though he lost the last match for the World Championship, and I just feel like if he recover from all that, he has to get this victory. So I'm going to go with Chris Hero on this one.
David?
Yeah, Hero. He's gonna. I think this is gonna be a really good match. Definitely very curious to see this. At first, I was kind of okay, Trent. You know, same thing with you. You know, not a huge fan, but I think this should be pretty good. You know, and I honestly, with whoever Chris kind of works with, I know he knows how to dance with them. So, should be a really interesting match. So, my pick is Hero.
Tom?
I'm going to go with Hero. I think he's done a lot in PWG in 2015, you know, being one of the centerpieces in the PWG versus Mount Rushmore feud. So I think he may get some more momentum in 2016. And, yeah, Trent, like I said, Trent's another guy. He's not in PWG all the time because of his New Japan and Ring of Honor schedule. So I couldn't see him getting a victory over Chris Hero, who's basically every PWG show.
Jarrett?
I'm actually thinking they're gonna trick us on this one. I'm thinking Trent might pull out the victory just out of complete surprise.
Interesting. I'm gonna go with Chris Hero myself too. I mean, it's just the right way to go. I don't see Trent winning because I don't know. I feel like the fans would be like, what the fuck? Why is Trent winning if he wins? No disrespect to Trent or not, but Chris Hero is that guy right now. And just like Tom said, he played a very big role in the Mount Rushmore PWG feud. So Chris Hero, definitely has to go over for sure. So, yeah. Moving on to the next match. Making his return, another return to PWG. Andrew Everett, as he faces Adam Cole, baby. This is going to be a good match. Cole and Everett, who do you got, Oscar?
I'm going Adam Cole on this one. Since his return to PWG, he's been on fire. And I don't think he should go take the fire out against Andrew Everett. Nothing to Andrew Everett, but it's going to be a good match. It could be the match of the night. I'm expecting to see some kind of like how I had the match with Mike Bailey. But yeah, I'm going to go with Adam Cole on this one.
David?
Adam Cole. Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a good match. I think so, too. Yeah, I agree with Oscar. He's been, you know, ever since he came back, he's just, you know, on fire. And I think you're definitely gonna see some flips and, you know, some good spots right there, and it should be really good. But yeah, if I have to say anything,
I'm hoping they're flipping. I hope Everett flips over there around where we sit, you know, so we can get. So we can get on the DVD or one of these GIFs.
He always flips, does his big flips around the bar area, so I know he's going to be around there. So.
Oh, yeah. Who you got, Tom?
I'm going to go with Adam Cole. You know, I think Everett makes his return, and he puts on a good showing, but Andrew Everett really doesn't get too many big victories. Could be wrong, could be an upset. Who knows? I think Adam Cole is the perfect opponent if you're going to do an upset where it doesn't hurt both guys. But I think Adam Cole, depending on what the whole Ring of Honor PWG relationship is going forward, how often Adam Cole is going to be there. Obviously, Adam Cole, former PWG world champ, so he's a main event talent in PWG, even though he hasn't been there in a while. So I'm going to go with Adam Cole.
Jarrett?
Yeah, Cole's winning this one. It's going to be a great match, but I'm thinking Cole's going to probably reverse. I'm going to assume start press into a brainbuster on the knee.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, man. Pretty sure we all got Adam Cole. Adam Cole's, ever since he came back to PWG, he's on a hot streak right now, so it's just right it's just the right thing to have Cole go over. So, next match, Jack Evans versus Sami Callihan. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be one of those sleepers. This is a sleeper right here. I'm calling it right now. Sleeper match of the night, Jack Evans, Sami Callihan.
Okay, I guess I am going to pick Sami Callihan. I believe he's been undefeated since he came back. But, yeah, I like Jack Evans and all, but he looks like a guy who'll run his mouth, then he gets his ass kicked again like he did against Drew Galloway. So I expect something like that again.
David?
Dragon Slayer. No, you know what? This one's actually a little tough one for me. The reason is just, Sammy, he's back and everything, but man, Jack, if we've been really fortunate enough to see him live, and he's incredible on the mic. He's such a heel, and it's just like you want him to win. You want him to win. You want him to go over. And I think this is going to be a really great match too. Like you said, it's a sleeper, and honestly, this is tough. But if I had to call like the winner, probably be Sammy, man.
Tom, who you got, man?
Yeah, I got to go with Sammy too. Just kind of like Oscar said, Jack Evans is, he's the type of guy that he'll put on a good match and put on a good fight. But with Sammy coming back to the indie scene, I think there's more of a reason for him to win than Jack Evans. So I'm going to go with Sami Callihan on this one.
Who you got, Jared?
So my heart says Jack Evans, but my brain says either one. I'm going to listen to my gut and say Sami Callihan.
I'm going to go with the Dragon Slayer. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Jack Evans is going over for sure. Fuck it. Dragon Slayer, he's winning. That's what's popping.
The only way he wins if he
Sami Callihan's going to get his first loss.
The only way he's going to win is he does that drunken master thing again.
I'm just really looking forward to
nothing, because he didn't do it last time when he was at PWG and he got the win. He's definitely going to get the win regardless. He's going to cheat to win. Jack Evans is definitely going to be one of those top heels, top mid-card heels in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and I'm going for Jack Evans. Even if Sammy wins, they're going to still like the fucking show. Like, those two are going to have such a great match, dude. I'm calling right now.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine to Jack Evans just because so we can hear more of the Jack Evans monologues.
Oh, yeah, he's going to have one.
Jack Evans is such, like, ever since he's grabbed the mic at PWG, like, this is probably the best thing that's going on, hands down. Next match. Now, this is a major key match. This is what I call a major key match. Trevor Lee takes on the best technical wrestler in the world, Zack Sabre Jr. Talk to us, guys. Who you got? Oscar.
What the hell is that sound?
Yeah, what is that noise?
Sorry, that's probably like my dog in the background.
Go ahead, Oscar.
All right. I'll take Oscar's place. I'm going to go with Zack Sabre Jr. on this one. It's tough, though, because, obviously Zack Sabre Jr. still has a title shot, so you want to build him up, but at the same time, you still want to also build Trevor Lee up, because I've said it before, I think that's how PWG views Trevor Lee. It's kind of like they got him before everybody else, kind of like PWG's now becoming Trevor Lee's like home base. It's where he made his name for himself. So it's kind of hard to protect both guys in that sense, but because Zack Sabre Jr. still has a PWG world title shot, I think you still have to keep him up there. So I think Zack Sabre Jr. gets the win.
David?
Of course, for me, Zack Sabre Jr., not only huge fan, but guy's on fire right now. He's going to take it. It should be a really great match. Really, really exciting match to see, because I know Trevor Lee is awesome as well, but I know Zack Sabre Jr. is going to take the win. He needs it definitely too, because I have a big feeling that something's going to happen with him and Roddy next. So,
Oscar, you there, dude?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. I have to think Zack Sabre Jr., just like what David said, they have to do something with him and Roddy. We don't know when that match is going to be. It could be an All-Star weekend in March. So, can I keep on going? So I'm going with Zack Sabre Jr.
Jerry, who you got, dude?
This is a tough one for me because it's the next world champion versus my absolute favorite wrestler in the world.
So who you got?
Can I pick a tie?
If we can
no,
pick ties,
that is not how it works.
So many matches for ties, dude.
I know your heart is torn between the Carolina Cavemen and the best independent wrestler going today, but you got to pick one. I know it's tough. I know it's like picking.
It's gonna be close.
His favorite, but
given the path, I'm gonna say Sabre. It's gonna be really close.
It shouldn't be that hard. If you don't go, I'm gonna go.
Well, I said Sabre.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Zack Sabre for sure, dude. Like, no fucking questions asked. Zack Sabre Jr. and Trevor Lee's gonna definitely work hard. I mean, he's gonna make Zack work hard for this match for sure. One thing I can say, or not say, actually, I have a question for you guys. Me and Matt was actually talking about this earlier. As we all know, Trevor Lee is the X Division champ. Is he? Do you guys think this is like maybe the end of us seeing him in the independents and him getting that exclusive deal with TNA, and we not seeing him in the indies?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything that he's going to get a exclusive TNA deal. I don't think TNA has that much exclusive. Only Kurt Angle, and I'm not sure, maybe Bobby Roode and James Storm.
They just got Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, so they're exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only way I can see exclusive is Pop's paying him a lot of money, and somehow they got a raise just recently or something. But as of right now, I haven't heard anything. So I'll say no, even though he's the X Division champion. No.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. In the main event, Roderick Strong against Drew Galloway. This is going to be a killer match right here because we know these two have already worked with each other and evolved, and now bringing it to a Pro Wrestling Guerrilla ring, these two are definitely going to have a pretty good match. Let's go ahead and talk about our predictions. Let's start off with the man named Tom.
I got to go with Roddy. Can't go wrong with picking Roddy. He is our PWG champion for a reason because he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Last year he proved it. He proved he's one of the best. He could hang with them. But in all seriousness, I wouldn't see any point in putting the title on Drew Galloway. It wouldn't make any sense. Like I said, it's kind of like the Matt Sydal versus Roderick Strong type of match. They're just finding more opponents for Roddy just to make Roddy look like that's much stronger of a champion, which I'm liking. I'm really liking Roddy's reign as PWG champion. It's going really good, you know. The one thing I love about how Roddy's booked is, number one, he's actually booked as a big-time heel. You know, people fucking hate Roddy. You know, they hate him.
Fuck Roddy. Real quick, can I cut you off real quick? Fuck Roddy. I'm going to tell you what Roddy did today. What a bitch fucking boy move he did today. Roddy said, I have enough time for Q&As, right? So I guess people start asking questions, right? All of a sudden, this fucker, let me tell you what he did. He said, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and post this for you. Who gives a fuck?
He's living the gimmick, brother. He's living the gimmick. He's got to be a dick. It's what Roddy does.
Fuck Roddy. Tomorrow I'm doing the shot at him. Even though I love him, fuck him at the same time.
See, but that's the thing about Roddy. It's so great. Is you're just like, man, you're a great wrestler, but man, fuck you, Roddy. But that's, like I said, that's what's so great, and that's what I love in what's been happening with Roddy and PWG for a while now. But I think him and Galloway could have a good match. You know, like I said, it's a main event type match, you know, and how often are you really going to see this? You're not going to see it in Evolve anymore because both of these guys aren't in there anymore. Even though we have seen it in the past, you wouldn't see it anymore. It's kind of a very rare matchup nowadays to type of see. So I'm going to go with that.
Does everybody have Roddy? Because I don't think I really need to go down the line if everybody has Roddy.
Yeah, no, I'm going Roddy.
I'm going Roddy too. There's no really point picking Drew Galloway.
Definitely going for Roddy. That's my boy right there, no matter how much of a dick. And he said it to my face, too. He can be.
Yeah, fuck him. But put it like this. I'm that fan that I like you. I want you to win, but still fuck you because you're an asshole as a heel. So, I'm going to go ahead. I guess that's our PWG talk. I can't wait. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day. Me, Jared, David, and Oscar are going to be in the building, holding down for Wrestlingheads. Pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. The show is going to be awesome. Parking's going to be a bitch to find, but oh well. It's going to be a good-ass show tomorrow.
Here comes the fingers crossed that Larry is in a good mood, too. So.
Oh, shit. You better hope so. I mean, let me know if anything. Hopefully, he'll park in this parking lot again.
We will.
Or you can look at our Twitter timeline for sure.
With that,
go ahead and take. Oh, you're about to leave?
Yeah, I gotta do stuff to get ready for tomorrow.
All right, brother. We'll see you tomorrow then.
See you tomorrow. See you guys.
Later.
All right. Well,
later, Jared.
Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll talk some New Japan, and we'll share this top 10 of ours, some matches that we want to see, and NXT. We'll be right back. Let me see if I can get my producer to fucking give me a commercial.
Hey, this is Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Red Dragon, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. We just happen to be the best tag team on planet Earth, and you are listening to Wrestlingheads Radio.
Let me get one more commercial, please. And let me get Bo Leave.
My name is Rich Swan, and we're at PWG, but you are now listening to the Wrestlehead Radio.
All you have to do is believe.
Shout out to Matt Grant. He's trying to hold it down with the production here. But, you know, Blog Talk, they don't want to play some commercials. Being fuckboys, as always.
They hate us.
So let's go ahead and talk about 10 independent matches that we want to see this year in 2011. And after that, we'll get into New Japan's talk and a little NXT and Ring of Honor, if we can get it all going on in the next 30 minutes. So let's start off with David's list. David, I actually saw your list. It's a pretty good list. Talk to us about your list.
Yeah, man, it's something I've been kind of going back and forth with. I wanted to make sure that it hasn't happened yet, but if you want me to tell you one by one, I'll go with it. But with me, it's Tommy N versus Roderick. I think that would be awesome. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Speedball. Ricochet versus Haskins. Will Ospreay versus Chris Hero. Jimmy Havoc versus Adam Cole. Jay Lethal versus Zack Sabre Jr. again. Hero versus Marty Scurll. Jay Lethal versus Ospreay. And Dickerson versus Speedball, which I don't know if it's happened already. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen it. And last but not least, Kimberly with any wrestler at PWG. I just want her there. That's my list right there.
Yeah, with Kimberly, dude, like that's definitely something that I'm pretty sure a lot of fans would love to see. Another women's wrestler besides Candice LeRae, at PWG. A lot of people are kind of burnt out seeing her. Pretty good list you got there. Some dope matches. I wouldn't, complain about seeing some of those matches. I actually have one of those matches that you said on my list, which is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
I feel like Zack has been in the ring with every top guy almost in PWG. Speedball, he kind of had a match with him in a triple threat at PWG Bola's finals. So,
yeah.
But one-on-one, these two have not squared off. So that's one match that I would like to see. Another one, Will Ospreay versus Phoenix. That shit will be super nuts, ridiculous. Both dudes are probably the top 5 high flyers in the game right now, maybe top 10 for sure. Trevor Lee versus Mark Haskins is one match I want to see. Adam Cole versus Trevor Lee. Not sure if it happened, but if it hasn't, I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
Zack Sabre.
It's happened before.
Hey, let's make it happen again. Speedball versus Mark Andrews is one I want to see. Will Ospreay versus Speedball. The Bucks versus Ricochet and Matt Sydal in an actual tag team match without another tag team. Roddy Strong versus Marty Scurll. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Drew Galloway. And Tommy N versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah, that's good right there.
It's funny. I'll go over my list. But you guys are forgetting such a big match because you guys have mentioned both of these guys' names, but we haven't seen this match. Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr.
That match would be nuts too.
I think that was like my number one match. I want to see that because I think those two would mesh. I think they would mesh so well together. So
I completely agree. That's something where I actually thought was going to happen at All-Star Weekend last year, and it didn't happen, which is okay because he had Kenny had good matches, but I actually thought that he was going to have a match with Zack Sabre Jr. But I guess maybe another time.
Yeah. So to run down the rest of my list, I have some very different matchups that I want to see. Some of you said it. Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey is a match I want to see definitely. Michael Elgin versus Ricochet. These guys had a match back at Bola 2012 where I don't think Ricochet was at the level that he's at right now. So I feel like if you get these two in a PWG ring or like a AAW ring and you let these guys go 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, they could have an incredible matchup. So That is the matchup I want to see. The Hooligans versus Tabernacle Day team from Canada. I know Matt's more familiar with both of these teams, but two kind of more athletic but big guy type of teams. I think these two teams would kick the shit out of each other, but fly around the ring as well. So I'd like to see that. I'd also like to see Donovan Dijak versus Brian Cage, in the sense that I think it would be Dijak's kind of breakout match. I think he eventually should make his way into PWG, and I think getting him against Cage would be, two big guys who could fly around the ring. So I definitely would want to see that. Do I think it would be the greatest match? No, but I think it's just a matchup I would want to kind of personally see. Dalton Castle versus Adam Cole, I'd like to see in a main event style match, not just like a regular Ring of Honor match. Have they faced each other?
Yeah, they just had a match not too long ago. I want to say a couple tapings ago at Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but I like to see them in a more prolific type of match, like a main event type match in PWG or something to give them more time.
Right.
I think that would be a great matchup. Also, I'd like to see Jimmy Havoc versus Dalton Castle as well. So Dalton Castle included twice on this because, like I said, I think he's going to have a big year. So I'd like to see Jimmy Havoc versus Dalton Castle, two type of different personalities going at it. I think would be great. Tommy End versus Timothy Thatcher. I'm pretty sure this happened, but I'm not 100% sure. But these two guys, I think, would kick the hell out of each other. I know Thatcher faced Gulak at Bola, so I feel like his match, if he had a match with Thatcher, it would be even stiffer, which is something I like to see. Kimberly versus I wanted to say Kimberly versus Candice LeRae, but here's my only gripe with that. I feel like in one-on-one singles matches against women, Candice doesn't do so well, but I feel like with Kimberly, it's kind of more like a fantasy type match where it's like, okay, people say Kimberly's the best, people say Candice is the best, so kind of pit those two against each other to see who is really the best.
I think it already happened in CCW. I think it was Cage and Jeff 2 years ago. They had a match against each other.
But like I said, I think it was I think it was the CCW WSU, but it wasn't obviously. Not a lot of people would remember it, but I feel like if you put them on a bigger stage and a bigger platform, they would be able to kind of get more recognition. If you it wouldn't happen in PWG because Super Dragon hates women's matches. So maybe in Beyond Wrestling or something like that, I think would work really well. I'm not sure what number I was up to. What else? I'd like to also see Trevor Lee versus I had him right in my head. Trevor Lee versus Marty Scurll. One-on-one, big type match. I know it's happened before, but I feel like they need to do it in the UK. We saw it over here in the States, but I feel like they need to do it over in the UK for like Progress or something, or Rev Pro. I think that would be another great match to see. And I was going to include Davey Richards on this, but then he got re-signed by TNA, and I don't know how much he's going to be on the indie scene, because I'd like to see Zack Sabre Jr. versus Davey Richards.
Is that it? Was that your 10?
Yeah, that was it. I didn't the Davey Richards, Zack Sabre Jr. I didn't include because I didn't know about Davey Richards.
I'm kind of looking forward to see what Oscar got on his list, because me and him kind of had a conversation earlier, and he asked me, was Roderick Strong cool. I'm like, of course Roddy Strong's good to put. He's definitely one of the top guys in the Indies right now. But go for it, Oscar.
All right. It's not by order, but this is my top 10. But Zack Sabre Jr. versus Angelico. I think that'll be one hell of a match. If Angelico can get booked in the UK, I think that'll be one awesome match between the two. I don't know if you guys ever thought of it.
Angelico is actually on his way to the UK. That's the funny part. He's going to have a UK tour.
Is he one of these Lucha Underground vids for all these guys getting bookings from everywhere, getting better opportunities? That's what's awesome about Lucha Underground. I also have Kenny Omega going against Will Ospreay. I don't think that ever happened either, so that's something I would like to see.
Will Ospreay happened a couple of PWG shows ago.
And also weekend night 2.
Oh yeah, I wasn't there. I was sick, so I wasn't there that day. So I guess I had to get the DVD to check that out. So that's one of the PWG shows I rarely miss. Roderick Strong against Ishii. I think that will be a hard hitting. Those two guys are known for hard hitting.
You say right?
So why not Tomohiro Ishii? It might happen this year now that Roderick Strong's heading to Japan, but I think this match could happen sometime this year. So like I said, their styles just match the same way, and I think they'll have a one hell of a match.
I'll lose my shit if those two square off at the ROH.
I knew you would like that one. All right, I actually got a SoCal guy here in this one, but I like to see Eli Airfly going against Mike Bailey. Just imagine that match. I mean, if Eli ever goes to Canada, they had to book him against Mike Bailey somehow.
I mean, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere. All right,
you know what? It's crazy that you mentioned Eli Everfly. And, him and Mike Bailey, their size is kind of similar,
Yeah.
It definitely would be an interesting match,
Yeah. All right, I got a women's match right here. I got Lufisto going against the Stardom champion, Sarai. I think they'll tear the house down. No matter where, if it's in Japan or the United States, they'll tear the place apart. I think those two women could main event anywhere, in any indie show, anywhere. So I think they can, have a good match. I got another Angelico. Angelico going against Will Ospreay. I think that's going to be a high flying. This should be a PWG match. I hope I can see this in PWG sometime this year. But those two guys will blow up the roof. My next match I also got Willie Mack going against Pentagon Jr. It could happen in Lucha Underground this year. I've seen them got together a little bit like either a 6-man or a battle royal. They went at it with each other. So I like to see these guys go in a singles match and see what they could do. I mean, I'm pretty sure Willie Mack can work with anybody, and you know how Pentagon Jr. is. He's the one of the best in AAA and Lucha Underground. So yeah, that was a killer match. I got another Angelico on this one. Angelico going against Ricochet. I don't think it never happened in Lucha Underground, even though they're in the same roster. They never crossed paths. So if they ever got the opportunity to go either in Lucha, PWG, or somewhere else, I'd like to see those two get it on. I got another SoCal name who's people compare to this guy, but I think they'll have a killer match. I got Tyler Bateman going against Chris Hero. I think they will fucking put out one hell of a match. Anywhere. I mean, if they could book, I know Chris Hero does a lot of pro wrestling Bushido up there in the North Bay area, and they're gonna have a show here in Los Angeles. That's kind of crazy, and the day after All-Star Weekend. So if they could ever put Tyler Bateman in the north area of California, then I think they can have an opportunity that they can wrestle each other. So I think they'll still have a good match. And last but not least, if somehow they can reunite this tag team for one night only, because I see these guys. Well, I saw half of the tag teams running each other on their mouth on Twitter. But if somehow one of these guys can reunite for one night only, the Juicy Product going against PP Ray, I think they'll be an entertaining match. I have to say, and I think when I told the Juice, if he ever comes to California, him and David will love to work with CP Ray. So if somehow the Juice party could reunite just to go against CP Ray, I'll be up for that. And that's it.
Definitely, dude. Interesting top 10 there. So hopefully some of our matches actually get booked. I'm pretty sure some of these matches are for sure going to happen. So, but let's go ahead and get into New Japan, New Beginning. I know David saw it. Tom, please tell me you saw it.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't, but I know I saw some of the match results, and I saw some of the GIFs posted by Senor Lariotto, who's the GIF master for the New Japan shows, by the way, if you want to follow him. But, yeah, I was probably going to wait till this weekend to watch the first show, The New Beginning, in, what was the first one, Osaka, and then Nagata's on the 14th. So, yeah, we can still get into it. I can still talk about it.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Hold on, give me a sec. Let's take one more commercial break, and I'm gonna pull up the card. So let's take one more quick commercial break. Let me see if I can get a break. Can I get a break, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drew Gulak, and you are listening to Wrestlingheads Podcast.
This is international star M-Dog20, Matt Cross. You might remember me from Tough Enough, but if you saw me there, you have never seen me. Check out my best friend, Son of Havoc, every single week on Lucha Underground. You are listening to Wrestlingheads.
Good afternoon, this is England's Zack Sabre Jr., and when I'm not drinking tea and hanging out with the Queen, I am always listening to Wrestlingheads Radio. Cheerio.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
Oh, shit. That was hilarious at the end. Where Booker T. I did not see that coming. But let's go ahead and talk about Jay White versus David Finlay. What a fucking match, dude. I know me and David saw it. I have to say, these two are such good wrestlers, but Jay White is so much better than David Finlay. No diss to David Finlay. Talk about that opening match, David. Your thoughts on that match, dude?
Man, I thought it was great. It was, I would say like 10 minutes of a match, but I thought it was great from, Dan Finlay on those uppercuts. Jay White, he looks great. He's just got a great technique. I was pretty shocked with this match. I thought it was going to be a little so-so, but it was great. And Jay White, he honestly, I grew in a fan of him watching this match.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Jay White, this is one match that I'm pretty sure Tom is definitely going to enjoy when he gets to see Jay White and David Finlay. Honestly, I already thought that the six-man tag match should have opened up the show instead of Jay White and David Finlay, because I'm sure those two were a better match than the six-man tag. I'm not going to go over the six-man tag match or whatnot, or the tag team match that happened after that, because there's two matches that really weren't too big to talk about on the show. But let's talk about the team of Bushi, Evil, and Nato going against Juice, Robinson, Kushida, and Michael Elgin. This is basically to hype it off, because we know Bushi and Kushida are going to be going on, have a one-on-one match for the IWGP Junior title. So, your thoughts on the six-man match? Michael Elgin looking real good in that match. Of course, Bushi and Nato and Evil, they definitely had to cheat to get the W, but your thoughts?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was a pretty good match. Saw Robertson get slammed on his neck. That looked pretty scary to me. I don't know if you catch that, but I thought it was pretty good. You know, you did great. You know, great moves here there. Ibushi, you know, did good stuff, but it was okay. It was you know, I don't know, maybe because I kind of wanted more spots, more big hits, big moves, but it was pretty good match.
Definitely. Moving on, Bullet Club against Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, Torora Yano. Am I right, though?
Yep, it's Toriano, or you could just call him I forget what do they call him, YTR. But always call him Yano for short. Hey, and remember, buy his DVD. Gotta buy the Chaos DVD. Got it.
This match was for the Never Open 6-man tag titles. And, of course, the Bullet Club went over because, you know, Mark Briscoe and Jay Briscoe, I don't see them, you know, working in New Japan on a regular basis like the Bullet Club. So the Bullet Club went over. This match was, you know, not a match that, you know, I was super excited for. It was a decent match, you know. But your thoughts on this match, David?
I don't know. You know what? I felt it a little short. Mark was really doing good. You know, in my opinion, he was doing great. You know, it was just, you know, I don't know what to say to this match. It was just typical tag match. Yano was being Yano, which was great, but I felt just the match was just a tad short.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, it was definitely going to happen sooner or later where he gave the Bullet Club those titles. I feel like those titles were made for the Bullet Club for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah, even though the Bullet Club is about to, you know, not be as big as they were once, you know, Anderson and Doc, you know, head to the WWE. Moving on, tag team for the three-way tag team match where you had Red Dragon going against the team of Matt Sydal, Ricochet, and the IWGP Junior Tag Champs, the Young Bucks. I thought this was a good match, honestly. Pretty good match. You know, you got three of the best tag teams in professional wrestling today. But, of course, you have new IWGP Junior Tag Champs, and I am proud to say Matt Sydal and Ricochet are your new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champs. Should have won this thing a long time ago. Your thoughts on this match, Mr. David? Talk to me about it, man.
I like this match. This was good. Obviously, you know what's going to happen. Bucks being the Bucks, you know, Dragon doing what they do as well. But I didn't think I would say this, you know, because I'm not a huge Ricochet fan, but I love the guy. He's awesome at what he does, and he's a good guy too. But to me, man, they were great. They were great. They were doing some like smooth moves, you know, like, you know, they were doing their stuff, which, you know, hit every spot perfectly. It was a fun tag team match, you know, and then the Dragons were great too. You know, they were doing their thing too. But if I had to give it to anybody of those guys, it was definitely Ricochet and Matt Sydal.
And let's not forget Cody Hall playing a little part in the match where he picked up Kyle O'Reilly and just took him to the back. So he basically made sure Red Dragon was getting those titles. But new champs again, like I said, Matt Sydal and Ricochet. Next match, Shibata versus Ishii for the Never Open Championship. What a fucking match, dog. These guys are so fucking good. I swear to God, dude. Like, I can sit and watch Shibata versus Ishii for the whole fucking year. This is probably way better than Goto versus, or excuse me, not Goto, but, am I saying, hold on, was it Goto and Ishii that was facing off?
Was
it Goto? It was Maccabee and Ishii. Yeah, way better than Michael B and Ishii feud for sure. But you told me this match was lit, and yes, it was. Talk to me about this match, your thoughts on this match. And Shibata is still your never open champion.
How can I say this? This if you guys want to see new beginnings, this is the match to see. It was hard hitting. These guys were just going at it, strikes. I know everybody talks about Suplex City or Dropkick City. This was literally Beatdown City for me. It was great. I felt like this is where they left off in the Wrestle Kingdom, and man, this was good. This is a definitely must-see match, and I couldn't ask for anything more. Both of these guys just did phenomenal. Shibata is just, fantastic, and Ishii is just a fucking bulldozer, man. But this match,
bro, keep this out. Yeah. Time when Ishii, he did some move on Shibata. Ishii goes for the fucking pin, and it's a 1 count. Shibata kicks out of a 1 count. What the fuck? I'm like, wow.
Man, I was watching it at night, and I remember that, my roommate, I have to just be quiet, but it was just one of those matches that, like, it did make me pop out of my seat for a little while. It was great. It was definitely.
I'm on the Xbox going ham, dog, and the homies are like, whoa, he's definitely feeling himself over there with this match. Like,
yeah.
Bro, there's a lot to say. If you're not watching New Japan, people, you need to. Trust me. Go.
Yeah, Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I understand how you feel. 'Cause I'm not really, like, really up to, sometimes up to speed with New Japan. It takes me a while just to get in there, but I just had a feeling to watch this, and, this was, a match that, like, I would have kicked myself in the head if I missed it. So it's definitely worth it. If you love, this hard hitting style from the wrestling, you'll definitely love this match.
Definitely, man. Let's move on to the next match. 6-man tag. You have the team of Doc, Carl, and Kenny Omega, Bullet Club. So they went against Toga, Makabe, and Hanama and Tanahashi. So this was a pretty good match for a 6-man. Of course, you got Kenny Omega and Tanahashi. They're going to be facing each other for the IWGP IC title. You have those two basically previewing that match, and you have the team of Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, basically previewing their match with Makabe and Hanama. So it was a pretty good match for a 6-man tag. Just like I said, you kind of had Matt Jackson and Nick get involved at the end of the match after the Bullet Club went over. But it was pretty crazy to see how after the match Kenny Omega really got healed with it. Like, he got chairs and shit, trying to injure Tanahashi even more. I'm definitely looking forward to that match, which is happening tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tom knows the answer. Tom?
I think so. Pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah.
I think you're good.
Your thoughts on this match, David, man?
That was really good. Omega, man, I guess ever the whole elite thing now, probably he's showing what he does best, and he's showing it great. It's amazing how I guess I won't say like a month or so, but man, he's looking fantastic, and it was fun. It was a good match. It was, I don't know what they're doing with Gallows and Anderson, but we'll see where it goes from there. after this.
Definitely, dude. And the main event, Okada going against Goto. Goto showing off his brand new look. First, before I get into that match, your thought on Goto's new look?
I liked it. I liked it. It was, he. I don't know how you say it, but I think he looked, pretty intimidating, badass-ish, So I dig it.
Showing that heel look a little bit, and
yeah, definitely.
It's really. It was pretty different though. Honestly, I'm not really. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, a lot of folks love Okada, but I'm not really a big Okada fan. I really wasn't feeling, the match for some reason. But it was decent. I'm gonna say like that, But your thoughts?
What'd you think of that drop kick?
On Nate. What was that, dude?
What did you think of that drop kick, man? Because I thought that was, insane. The one Okada hit.
Okada has the best drop kick in professional wrestling. Hands down. One of them. At least one of them, for sure. He's at least top 5. I can give him that, but I'm not really a big fan of his like everybody. A lot of people hype up certain wrestlers because, of what title they hold or whatnot. But I'm just not a big fan, But it was definitely a decent match, though. I can definitely give you, that one.
Yeah.
But we actually have somebody joining us. 651 is my boy Nate. Nate, you on there, brother? I'm not sure what's going on. I'm trying to get you on there. Give me a second, bro.
There you go.
But all right, Nate. Yeah,
What's
Nate,
going on,
I think
guys?
you probably want to talk a little bit about. Talk to us about your thoughts on whatever your favorite match was.
Well, honestly, I didn't watch the entire show because I didn't have time. The only 2 matches I watched were Ishii and Shibata, and then I did watch the main event. I thought the Ishii-Shibata match was a better match than their Wrestle Kingdom 10 match, and that is saying something because the match that they had at Wrestle Kingdom 10 was very, very good.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, dude. These dudes are just killing the game. Like, I got to see them one more time. I know a lot of people are going to get sick of this match soon, but these two, like, they had that chemistry, dude. But I want to make a
I need to
quick
see
announcement.
them. I need to see them in another match. And Okada's, like, I know, like, I heard what you said about Okada, and that's fine, but to me, he's not quite Nakamura level, but he's one of the best guys going in New Japan.
Definitely. I can definitely agree with that for sure. I can agree with that for sure. For sure, I can agree with that. Real quick, I have an announcement to make. Before we move on to, I just want to go down the Ring of Honor card, not giving nobody any predictions or whatnot. But on the 18th of February, be sure to listen in on Wrestlingheads Radio as we hype up the TLC main event match as we have Eli Everfly, Danny Limelight, and Douglas James, all 3 dudes on here as we hype up their TLC match at FCW, which is going to be next weekend on the 20th. So it's going to be cool to have all dudes on here for sure. Couldn't get one more person on that show with the Sway Thompson. So it would have been dope to have all 4 dudes, but that's happening. Let's go ahead, and I just want to talk about this Ring of Honor card. I don't know if it's all the way out yet, but I'm just going to tell you what it's going to be looking like, folks. So, of course, as we all know, Goto and Ishii are going to go at it. Adam Page versus B.J. Whitmer. Alex Shelley versus Christopher Daniels is happening. Tanahashi and Elgin against Mark and Jay Briscoe. Okada against Moose. ACH, Matt Sydal, and Kushida against Kenny Omega and the Bucks. For the ROH TV title, you got Roddy Strong against Bobby Fish. a no DQ ROH Tag Team title match, War Machine versus Kenny Omega and Red Titus. And the main event, Jay Lethal versus Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, baby.
That no DQ one, it's not Omega, it's Kenny King, right?
What was that, dude?
No, I think you said Kenny Omega, and I think it was Kenny King that on against the War Machine.
War Machine versus ANX, yeah. Kenny Omega's opponent hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah.
Those are other matches for sure that's going on. Wrestling Observer put it out there, so shout out to Dave Meltzer for letting us know what's going to pop off.
Honestly, and I'm very biased in saying this because I was live at the 13th anniversary last year, this card doesn't look that all appealing.
I think it looks better, honestly. That's just my opinion.
Honestly, I don't, but I mean, we'll see. And I probably won't even be able to. I couldn't make it out there to Vegas this year. I probably won't even be able to watch it on pay-per-view when it's live, so I'll have to catch it later. But we'll see how it goes once it gets to pay-per-view and everything. I hope it goes well. But it's just on paper, this card doesn't do much for me. And I'm not sure why that is.
In a couple weeks, Wrestlingheads members, myself, Oscar, and David will be there, so be on the lookout. Also, I want to get into NXT real quick. Carmella and Bayley had a match tonight. I want to give Carmella straight up props. She definitely had the best match of her career so far. Got to give her props. I'm pretty sure you guys caught that. You guys' thoughts on Carmella, her match with Bayley, and yeah.
Well, I have to say, Carmella impressed me in this match. She impressed me as of late. Like, I'm starting to get to a point where if they have to send Bayley to the main roster, I'm pretty sure she can stay and carry the load. So she's been very impressive of late.
Carrying the load.
What?
I don't know if Carmella can carry the load.
I mean, she's getting there. I think she's getting there. She's improving, and then her match with Bayley was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed her performance, but I mean, like I said, if Bayley has to go to the main roster, you got Asuka there, and then you got Carmella. She could probably do it if they had to send both Bayley and Asuka in there. I mean, just saying, she's great. She is improving.
Did anybody else catch that Carmella Bayley match?
I did. I thought it was good. What surprised me was the finish. For some reason, I thought Carmella was going to win. Not necessarily win the title, but win by like DQ or something like that. I thought it's something they would do to kind of plant seeds for another match down the line. But I think either way that we're going to get a second match. And I'm not sure. I did glance over the card for NXT TakeOver Dallas. I'm not sure if that match was included on there, but it almost to me looks like they're going to use Carmella as a way to, like, she's in this program with Bayley, but I don't think they have any intention of giving her the women's title. I think the next women's champion is going to be Bayley, or not Bayley because she is the current,
Asuka.
But Asuka I think is going to be the next women's champion.
Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. At the end of the match, when Carmella's on back, she gets jumped by Eva Marie and Nia Jax. And I don't give a shit what nobody says. Right here, I'm giving props to Nia Jax and Eva Marie. Doing great as heels right now. Doing the job. Making people hate them. Props to them, too. Love their team.
You know what the smart thing would do? The smart thing to do, and I hate the smart thing to do with the Divas title or the women's title in NXT, and I hate that I'm even saying this, but give it to Eva Marie. They won't do that. They'll probably give it to Asuka, but with the amount of heat that Eva Marie is generating, I think they might have to give her the title down the line. Not right now, but it might be something that they want to experiment with just a little bit.
And I want to mention, once they had jumped Carmella, then you had Asuka come down. Basically, she didn't have to do nothing. They just walked out the ring, and then her and Bayley face off, and she just passed the bell like, save that thing for me because I'm coming for it. So we're seeing a little something with those two. So that's what happened on NXT today. We've actually had a long fucking show. Let's go ahead and start ending the show. Nate, I want to thank you for coming on, dude, and I appreciate you coming on here to talk a little bit with us. But give us your plugs, man. Tell us where they can find you here on the Elite Podcast Network.
You can follow me on Twitter at Headliner5. You can follow Eyes on the Ring at Eyes on the Ring. Of course, visit eyesonthering.com. Some good articles there. I'm going to start, ROH reviews are a thing that we're doing, and then we've been doing a lot of themed weeks on the site as of late. And the next one we are doing, and it was actually my suggestion, I believe we're doing a Daniel Bryan week, kind of talking about his career and everything, and kind of a retrospective to tribute him because he deserves it, and he had a great career, and it's sad to see him go, but at the same time, like I've always said, it's like I'd rather he retire than do permanent damage to his brain and have something happen down the line. But so that is coming in the next few weeks where we will be doing a Daniel Bryan week. Of course, you can look for my ROH reviews on the regular on eyesonthering.com. And like I said, just follow Eyes on the Ring and keep in line with and in tune with everything that the Elite Podcast Network is doing, because nobody does it quite like we do.
And I just want to mention, folks, be on the lookout soon on Wrestlingheads.com. Nate's going to be doing some work on there, too. I believe he's going to do some CMLL stuff and NXT, right?
That is correct. Well, the idea I had was to do like a CMLL match of the week. Not sure if I'm going to do something with NXT. I could, but the initial idea is to do something with CMLL and pretty much just present, because I watch a lot of their product, so I'll probably like pick out a match that everybody needs to see and just kind of give like a 1-paragraph description of the match and how good it was, and so that people can know that it's out there and be able to watch it.
Right. Tom, give me your plugs, brother.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. That's my personal account, and my Periscope is the same thing. Follow me on there. I'll be sure to follow you back. And make sure you guys are following everyone on the Elite Podcast Network. Of course, got Uncle Mike and Tom show dropping this week. Indie Power Rankings every Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be back on Monday. And, of course, like I do and like I plug every week, all the on-demand services, Progress On Demand, Rev Pro On Demand, New Japan World, Smash On Demand, AAW On Demand, AIW On Demand, Beyond Wrestling On Demand. So many great wrestling services out there for a low price a month. They're all lower than WWE. But if you're not into that, if you still like watching some DVDs, of course, highspots.com, Smart Mark Video are some great stops as well. So keep supporting indie wrestling. Keep supporting Wrestlingheads and the Elite Podcast Network.
Oscar.
All right. Yeah, you can follow me at Sinister632 on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. I want to thank Jeff Cobb for coming in earlier. It was a okay interview. And stay tuned. We're going to have more coming up, like Matt Tremont, Eli Everfly, Danny Limelight, Douglas James, Brody King coming down. And yeah, Brody King, he's coming down too. And thanks for the shout out earlier, Brody King, if he's listening. And just check out WrestlingHeads.com. Oh, and also, if you're in the LA area on Saturday, go to our boys' store, Wrestling Guy store. He's having the 3rd year anniversary in the store, and he's bringing in 2 TNA knockouts with Christy Hemme and the current champion Gail Kim. They will be there for the 3rd anniversary. So you check it out in Huntington Park. Just follow at Wrestling Guy HP to check out information if you want to go out there and maybe want to buy some action figures or posters. And they also have Lucha Underground gear out there as well, so you can check it out there in the store and check out the knockouts there. And, I guess, David, Skits, I will see you guys tomorrow at PWG. And, that's all
Speaking
I have.
of David, David, shoot you out your plugs, bro.
Well, you can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, which I barely use, Strider Snake. You should also catch me on the Xbox. I do play there, Strider Snake as well. And
Mad at you right now.
And I completely agree with Nate. It should be definitely a good recognition of Daniel Bryan, what he's done. I was heartbroken, but at the same time, I understand what he has to do, and we can't be selfish. But if you want to see him, please do not rely on the WWE. He has great, fantastic matches on ROH and PWG and others out there as well. I know that ROH has plenty, well, not plenty, but a good set of collection of his, so please check that out. And, that's all.
And you can find me on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. First, before I get my Twitter, go ahead and follow at Wrestlingheads. That is the Twitter. Follow us up on there for all the news that we got, up-and-coming guests. You can also check out the website, wrestlingheads.com. YouTube is Wrestlingheads. Everything wrestling, just Google is Wrestlingheads. It'll come on up and follow us up on there. IG, all that stuff. I'm on Twitter at WHSkit. You can follow me up on there. I'm always shooting shit, talking shit. Basically shitted on TNA a little earlier about them always posting about posting AJ Styles shit when they know he's in WWE now.
Yep, I saw
that. I'm always shooting shit on there, and be sure to find us tomorrow, PWG. Follow us on Twitter. We'll have every result, photo, anything you need. No videos, so don't count on us. Count on somebody else with that one. But it's a pretty good show today. We actually went over our time. Pretty sure Oscar's pissed off, but he shouldn't be because we're covering the sport we call professional wrestling. And into Monday, we'll have Matt Tremont, people. Be sure to listen in. Thanks, Jeff Cobb. Appreciate it.
Later.
There are lots of things you can spend your tax refund on, but one thing you don't have to spend it on, a new smartphone. Switch to Metro PCS now and get not one, but 2 free 4G LTE smartphones for brands like Samsung and LG. Plus, you're on T-Mobile's blazing fast nationwide 4G LTE network. Hurry! Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free smartphones after instant rebate. One heck of a deal, only at Metro PCS. Limited time offer. Sales tax not included in phone price. Coverage and services not available everywhere. See store for details and terms and conditions.